Little deeper into this conflict in Yemen with our guest Nadwa Al-Dawsari is a founding member of Partners Yemen. That's an affiliate of Partners for Democratic Change International. She's also a conflict and civil society specialist who focuses on Yemeni tribes. Nadwa, welcome back to our program. So you've got the Houthi rebels controlling big chunks of the country. You've got the Saudi-led bombing raids happening. And now you have al-Qaeda seizing control of large installations, a major port, a seaport, an oil terminal in southern Yemen. What is going on? Who is controlling this country?
What is going on is that there is a complete absence of a solid and legitimate political process. Obviously, everybody's going to war, and there are clashes in several places in the country, in the south. Now in Marib, with the tribes, Houthis and Saleh forces are trying to expand into tribal areas. Obviously, I mean, in the past, tribes have helped contain al-Qaeda and prevent its spread. But with the tribes being busy fighting Saleh and Houthis, it gives room to al-Qaeda to operate and expand.
So basically, you're saying al-Qaeda is taking opportunity of this power vacuum, of this chaos, to make its own move and take control of these facilities.
Absolutely. But again, I mean, I don't think al-Qaeda now is the biggest problem in Yemen. The biggest problem in Yemen is that the country is being bombed. The political process is absent. The humanitarian situation is absolutely deteriorating. It's dire. People have been without power and water for days now. Severe shortage of gas. And so I think these issues are more pressing than al-Qaeda, and these issues are what would give room to al-Qaeda to capitalize on people's grievances.
So Nadwa, I want to get your take on the Saudi-led bombing raids that have been going on. We're entering week 4. Have these been successful? Are they accomplishing anything?
I mean, the Saudis have bombed Yemen's military capabilities. Yes, I mean, they've limited Houthis and Saleh's ability to use the air force. But then on the ground, Saleh and Houthis are expanding. And since the beginning of the strikes, they've expanded in the south. They've taken over a tribal area, and now they're clashing with the tribes in Marib in an attempt to take over the oil-rich governorate. So on the ground, they're actually gaining more strength, and so it questions the effectiveness of the airstrikes. I mean, there's only so much that you can do with airstrikes.
Do you think the Saudis are closer to sending in ground troops, and would that just exasperate the situation even more? Well,
there have been some rumors. I think ground troops would be a terrible idea. Saudis don't want to send ground troops to Yemen. It's a country that's very, very complex. I mean, most Yemenis are warriors, and so I think deploying ground troops will further complicate the situation. It's going to backfire at Yemen. It's going to backfire at the Saudis. It's going to backfire at the region.
So Nadwa, you've nicely laid out what the problems are and why this conflict is so complicated. But what is the solution here? The United Nations Security Council passed a resolution. They imposed an arms embargo against the Houthi rebels. They've asked the rival factions to come to peace talks, to negotiate. No one is really listening.
Yeah, I think part of it also that what we've been missing in Yemen is the leadership. I mean, Hadi clearly did not demonstrate the leadership that people expected from him. I think the appointment of Vice President Bahah, who used to be the Prime Minister, now he's the Vice President and Prime Minister, is an opportunity. Bahah is a technocrat. He's not affiliated with any of the existing corrupt political elite. So he has a lot of legitimacy among Yemenis, also among the Houthis. So I think there is a chance that he can broker some sort of a political deal and reach out to the different factions. I think the international community need to stand behind Vice President Bahah.
Such a tragic situation, especially when you mentioned the humanitarian crisis, the shortage of food, the civilians caught in the middle of all this. All right, thank you so much, Nadwa Al-Dawsari, for your time.